We are back. Thank you so very much for staying with us. And in case you're just joining us, welcome to Kenya's Gold, where the focus of the program today is to learn so much on what we can all collectively do for a cleaner, better and greener environment. And to shed more light on that, as I promised you earlier, I do have my young gentlemen with me right here in studio. For my far right, we have Levi Sogude, and we also do have Chris Kimathi. Welcome to Kenya's Gold, and they will be talking to us a lot more on this traditional beehive and the importance of bees to our ecosystem. And we also have Mr. Geoffrey and Malale. Welcome to Kenya's Gold again. And they will be talking to us a lot more on all matters growing trees. I was almost about to say planting trees. Nikakumbuka muneza hata nichuna hapa kwa set kwa sababu muliniambia I should never say plant trees.
Yes,
we say
we growing trees.
Not plant trees.
We grow trees.
No planting, Cindy.
Yeah.
All right, so Ugi, just tell me, why should I not say plant trees?
Because it's not a one-time thing. It's a process. So you plant a tree, you nurture it, you grow it. So it's a process that requires monitoring. It requires evaluation. It's a long-time thing. Right. So when we say plant, it's like nimepanda, nimemaliza. But now it's a process.
Right.
Yeah.
So sometimes we form groups, even in our social circles with friends, and we say, today we are going to go to this particular area, kila mtu ako na seedling, we grow, we plant it, and then we disappear and never go back to that particular place. Hapo tumekosea.
That umeplant trees. Na tunataka ugrow trees. Yeah.
So hii tabia yetu ya kwenda tu tunaekelea seedling and then we disappear from that area.
We actually encourage people to even name your trees. So that you can go back and look at it. You know, it feels good when you go to a place and you see this tree was planted by Ngina.
Ama uipatie jina mtu wako.
Yeah.
Nikipia jina mtu wangu nitarudi hapo all the time. Right?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for that. So mesikia pale nyumbani, we are not planting trees, we are growing trees. Now I'll come to you, Mr. Malale. Yesterday we did celebrate World Environment Day. And as a young person, I'd like to hear from you what this day really means to you. And sisi kama mavijana, what can we do about this particular day? Because normally utaona ni kama tu it's only the environment activists who are very keen about this day. They'll talk about this day, and every other person ni kama we take a step back and leave it to specific people to do the work. So how can we young people participate in World Environment Day? Na wewe umefanya nini kuhusu World Environment Day?
Okay, that's nice. So first and foremost, I would like to say that the key goal of celebrating the World Environment Day is actually to tackle the triple planetary crisis, to which we believe number one is climate change, then pollution. So yesterday we were tackling the issue to do with pollution. How can we solve these issues that are actually affecting us? Because number one, we find that we have so many polluted water suburbs. Apart from that, the environment is also polluted. So as young people, how can we come out to see how we are tackling the issues on pollution? There are so many opportunities that come out from that discussion and that conversation. I, as a person, have really enjoyed my yesterday event, which was in Tharaka Nithi, to which we were able to plant some good number of fruit trees in institutions.
You said plant.
Yes,
a good
plant and grow. Plant and grow. You plant, then afterwards you do what? You grow. The good thing about it is that once you have planted the tree, we're able now to grow, to assess the progress of the tree, to see the tree maturing and actually becoming something that at least will, when you come back, you're able now to say, I planted that tree.
How many trees did you grow yesterday? Yesterday,
I was able to plant and to grow 10 trees.
10 trees?
Yes, and fruit trees. Why fruit trees? Because of the food security aspect. Because at the end of the day, we are really talking about economic empowerment among the youths. So how can we get empowered economically? And this is one of the tackles that we are able now to get ourselves empowered. Because at the end of the day, we're not just planting to combat the effects of climate change, but we are planting so that at least now at the end of the day we have that fruit. That mango fruit, that avocado fruit, we're able to sell it and we're empowered economically.
Good. Thank you so very much for that. And I'm here with now Levis and Chris. Remember, he ni traditional beehive.
Yeah.
Right? Mtu akiangalia without paying too much attention, anaweza dhani leo Kenya's Gold tumeleta a log of wood in the studio. Please talk to us about this. Alafu pia najua kuna the modern ones, the modern beehives, which I've actually even seen thanks to you previously. Please tell me, Sai, where we are as a country, what are people using more? Is it the modern one? Is it the traditional ones? What are you also recommending as young people in this space?
Okay, thank you very much for this splendid opportunity that's already given me. And as the statistics stands today, Kenya stands at the annual production of honey in this country stands at 17 metric tons. And out of that, 80% of that 17 million metric tons comes from the logs, beehives.
The traditional ones?
The traditional ones.
Okay.
And we find that, but our honey consumption in this country is about 47 million metric tons.
And we're only producing?
And we're only producing 17 metric tons. So you find that this is a big venture for young people who can come out. I myself am a beekeeper.
Right.
We keep as an organization, and that is what we're encouraging our young people outside in this country of ours to engage in this beekeeping. It is economic value, whereby young men can be creating job opportunities. Like our Smart Foundation, that's what we're encouraging our young people across the country, because wafanyikazi wako walipi. Ukiweka hii mzinga, nyuki hata kwa neighbor, hata kwa yule neighbor msikizani, nyuki kanakimbia huko, kanachukua nectar, kanakuja kanakuwekea wapi? Kanakuwekea hapa. Kwa hivyo hapa ukiweka hii mzinga kwa mti, nyuki wanakuleta, wewe unaendelea na kazi zako tu. But now the bees, they are the one now to do the rest of the work.
Right.
Yours is just to go and harvest. And that's what we are encouraging our young people in this country to venture into beekeeping, because 80% of the honey that we produce in this country, we normally import.
Right.
So it is a big venture, and even the local market, we cannot meet the local market. So we are encouraging our young people outside there, our youth ambassadors across this country, to come out and do this practice.
Right.
Thank you.
Wewe umesema unaweka nyuki pia wewe, sio?
Yeah.
And do you using this traditional or the modern beehives?
Unajua, before Smax niokoe, before okoke, before okoe lazima ukue unataka kutubu dhambi. So mimi Smax walinirealize kutoka Tharaka Nithi pale. Na wakaona mimi I'm one of the biggest beekeeper in that county. So mimi zangu kama hizi niko na almost 100 beehives and logs. These are log.
Right.
And the less now Smax imenisaidia modernize, improvise now to come up with the modern type of beekeeping. That's what I'm doing. Thank you.
Let's talk to me about nikieka these logs. All right, we're already learning the importance of bees, even when it comes to pollination and all that, and honey. Lakini hapa tutakata miti, tukate miti, so that we have these logs, right?
Yes.
And deforestation is one of the biggest problems we are facing in the country.
Sure.
It's contributing to climate change. So where as you play your part in having as many beehives and encouraging more young people to have beehives, what is your compensation back to the environment?
Yeah. So just to note that these log hives, most of them are located deep in the indigenous communities in the Asal regions. And as Chris had mentioned, 17 metric tons of honey is what we produce as a country. And from that, 80% is produced by the indigenous beekeepers who are using these log hives. Like for example, in the semi-Asal areas like Elgeyo Marakwet, Baringo, and West Pokot is where you find most of these. They have huge tracts of land, they have forests, and most of these, as you can see, they are from the indigenous trees. So those trees are the ones that have overgrown the big trees. So if you take like a tree, this is just like a branch. You cut it, from one branch you can do like 5 hives. And all the beehives are made from trees, even the modern ones.
Yes.
Yes. So by cutting that tree, through our climate action initiatives, we also encourage to grow more. We have adopted forests just to replace the trees that we cut. Like right now, this year, during the World International Day of Forests, we're able to grow 100,000 trees in Chepalungu. But if you compare those numbers, the hives we've donated for this year are like 120 hives. If you compare it to the trees we've grown this year, 100,000 trees. So at least we are in a better place.
So as you cut some to make some beehives, you're also growing a lot more than what you're cutting. And I believe that should be the call to action to everyone who's in the business of beehives. Ukikata, unapanda. Great. I have a question for you, Mr. Ugi. Are we at risk of losing our indigenous trees? Kwa sababu utasikia msema, most of these are from the ASAL communities. They have those indigenous forests. Zinatoka huko. And also what we are growing a lot more is the hybrid trees. It's okay, you're still growing trees, but is there any future repercussions if we lose all our indigenous trees?
Yeah. In reality, it's true that most of the trees that we're planting and growing are the exotic, the fruit trees, and the best thing with, if you look at this country, for example, in Kenya, most of the natural forests are very, very protected. I don't know if you know that. But if you look at the planted forests that we have, they're the ones that we do have harvesting happening each now and then. For example, the cypress trees are harvested after a certain period of time. But people who come from areas, for example, I grew up in an area with lots of forests, and they're going to tell you the natural forests are very protected in this country. And the best thing about them is by the value that they are natural trees, most of them are indigenous, they have the ability to regrow, you know, once the seed fall to the ground, they are able to reproduce by themselves. And then it's also logging of most indigenous trees is illegal in this country. You're going to get, it's against the law. So we are it's true we have that risk because of course deforestation is happening in this country, but I'm glad that the ministry and the government is still doing its part in trying as hard as it can to protect
our indigenous trees. All right, and also the specific ones that are there for commercial purposes. Right? Thank you so much for that. And with that, it's time for us to take our second break. When we come back, we are going to get into details of this bag down here. Mimi niko nadhani ni luku ya kwenda huko nje ni tese, but ni mambo iko na kazi. Alafu hizi pia zinakaa mitishamba. We'll tell you what they are for when we come back from this break. How are you feeling?
Ngozi yako ina glow. Nilijipaka mafuta leo asubuhi nikikam, lakini skin yangu ishaparara and it looks so dull.
Sis, see, it's the new Nice and Lovely Lemon Extract Body Lotion.
Hiyo ndo secret yangu to a moisturized and bright skin. Usimix.
New Nice and Lovely Lemon Lotion, enriched with vitamin C and sunflower seed oil for 48-hour nourishing glow and brighter skin. Try Nice and Lovely Lemon Lotion today.
Mwanangu mealtime ni muhimu kabisa, na kila siku ni vita, saa zingine siwezi vumilia. Chakula bora ndio tunahitaji, cheki vile wengine nao washajipanga. Ufiti kwa maisha bora.
Afya bora huanza na chakula bora.
With features like Loop Goals and Invest for savings, quick loans and overdrafts, Loop Flex for buying now and paying later, all in one place. Get your own Loop Squad today and simplify your life. Loop it.
We are running low of the vaccine for BCG vaccine, which is the vaccine for TB. And also we are running low on the polio vaccine.
Wizara ya Afya yatangaza uhaba wa chanjo za watoto nchini, kaunti 12 zikikosa chanjo kabisa.
Kuna watu wachache ambao wanatisha serikali na kusema watapigana. Wamepigana. Wametupiga, kuna jamaa ameumiswa.
Kutoa title mara 2 na kupea shamba moja ndio anasababisha sisi tuuane.
Baadhi ya wakazi wa Ngoswani, Narok Kusini wauguza majeraha, wenzao wa Angata Barikoi wakiandamana kutokana na mizozo ya ardhi.
Kuhimiza kadhalika Waislamu kuendelea katika furaha kama hii na kupendana na kusaidiana pamoja, na ili kuwa katika unit moja, Waislamu wote wakiwa wanatekeleza ibada hii.
Nahimiza Waislamu wote kuwa kitu kimoja kwanza, na sisi jukumu letu ni kuwafikia na kuweza kuwalingania.
Waislamu ulimwenguni waadhimisha sikukuu ya Eidul Adha kwa ibada msikitini na sadaka ya kuchinja. Na kwenye longa hii leo tunauliza, kukaa tutwe ni kufanya nini?
Kuwa tayari kwa jambo lote ambalo linaweza kutokea.
Kukaa chonjo
ni kama kuchanganyikiwa hivi. Yaani uongei, hakuna kitu nasema, umekaa tu.
With features like Loop Goals and Invest for savings, quick loans and overdrafts, Loop Flex for buying now and paying later, all in one place. Get your own Loop Squad today and simplify your life. Loop it.
Not all sunscreens protect equally from sun damage. This one corrects dark marks too. Garnier Super UV Invisible Serum with SPF 50+ and vitamin C to protect from sun damage and correct dark marks. The best sunscreen for my skin. By Garnier, naturally.
Ngozi yako ina glow. Nilijipaka mafuta leo asubuhi nikikam, lakini skin yangu ishaparara and it looks so dull.
Sis, see, it's the new Nice and Lovely Lemon Extract Body Lotion. Hiyo ndio secret yangu to a moisturized and bright skin. Usimix.
New Nice and Lovely Lemon Lotion, enriched with vitamin C and sunflower seed oil for 48-hour nourishing glow and brighter skin. Try Nice and Lovely Lemon Lotion today.
Skia, ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Yummy na flow kama maji, juu ni tamu kama sali. Ni juicy. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi, usijali my bro, hebu kama nataka juicy juni.
Nivea Black and White Deo, now with 72-hour protection. But what does that mean? 3 sitters in 3 days and no fear of sweat. 120 dances with skin as smooth as the moves. Sweat, stain, and skin protection. Nivea Black and White Deo. Skin is for embracing life. Nivea is for skin.
What you eat directly affects your energy levels and mental clarity. Choose foods that nourish your brain and body, ensuring peak performance throughout the day.
Everyone is fueling their greatness. Have you had yours? What's your excuse?
Saa zingine mambo kupata bila plan. Gas ndio imeisha, landlord akuache upumue, mtoto ni mgonjwa na bado ni mid-month. Usijibox kwa noma. Piga *531# and sort your emergencies with my Mobi Civil Servant Loan, iwe usiku au mchana. Kama wewe ni civil servant, sasa uko sorted. Dial *531# and get up to 20,000 shillings and pay from your next payslip. No paperwork, no guarantors, no drama. Ni wewe tu na simu yako. Register now and see your limit in seconds. Built for Kenyan civil servants. My Mobi. Iko sorted.
Jezebel, what really happened to her son? How could the boy simply vanish?
Well, you know, when you left, I mean, in a matter of speaking, you know, my sister went out of her mind.
Morphix ina-absorb like whoop. Imagine, haiwezi leak in 50 different movements. Makofi to both babies and Morphix. Renewed Morphix, ultimate quality.
we're back. Thank you so much for staying with us. We do want to continue our conversation on all matters protecting our environment. And now I want Mr. Malale to show us the correct way of growing trees. Mr. Malale, how do we do it? Now what tumekuwa tukikosea wapi?
Yeah, very true. So number one, with the current conversation over plastic pollution, so it's very nice if people now are able now to learn the approaches of how we are supposed to grow our trees, because we are not just planting because we want at the end of the day, after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, we're able to come back and assess that actually I did what? I planted and grew this tree. So this is the best approach. Number one, we dig the hole. So once the hole is dug,
How should it be, or does it vary from one variety to the next?
It depends with the variety, which I really commend the ministry, because they're really pushing forward with the Jazamiti app, where people are able to identify the species that they're supposed to plant in a given area. For instance, if it's Mandera, it's in the database. You just key in the location, then you're able now to get the correct species that you're supposed to plant in that place. So now we have this. Once the hole is dug, then the soil is actually put aside, then we have maybe like manure or so. We're able now to see how we are supposed to do it. So this is the tree. I'll just demonstrate. So what we normally say with this tree, it has a polytube. This is a polytube. This is a plastic bag. And we are really championing for reusing of these polytubes. How are we supposed to reuse them? So as one of now the economic approaches, whereby people are able now to reuse this one once they plant the tree. So the best approach is to add a little water to the plant. We understand that there are some holes to which now the water will actually pass through the holes. So once that is done, then we massage. We say we massage the tree. In the process of massaging the tree, we even speak to the tree. May you grow, may you produce the sweetest fruits. It's a living thing, actually.
It can listen to...
it's a living thing.
Okay.
So we talk about massaging. The reason why we are massaging, we want at least the paper to be loose. So that at the end of the day, we're able now to remove it and reuse it again. Yes.
All
so
right.
once that is done, we have the 2 fingers. We lock. Then once that is done, we turn it the other way around in a very organized manner. Then we remove the paper simultaneously. Pole pole tu. It's a living thing. Ndio isimwagike. So iko very much okay. This one at least it's wet. Haitamwagika. So the way you can see it, this is now the plant.
And then you
put
it in the
this
hole.
is the plastic bag. We are beating plastic pollution. So we can reuse this bag again. You can take it to the nursery, then we're able to reuse it. Then once that is done, we put it to the ground. Dip to the ground. Before even dipping it, you can backfill a little bit. Why? We want these roots to spread on the ground. So once you backfill, then you're able now to add soil. Then once that is done, you leave it to a certain level where you can allow water retention. Water now will be able now to
get in.
All
All right, thank you for that illustration. Maybe in just 30 seconds, I want you to tell me how this bag is used when it comes to honey. 30 seconds.
So these are traditional honey bag. It was used by the old beekeepers, but it's still being used now. So this one, they used whenever they have their log hives on top of trees. When they're going to harvest their honey, they climb the tree, they get to their log hive, they take honey from inside there, they scoop honey, put it inside the bag, and are sent down the tree. While going up there, they were using ropes. We have ropes. This ropes was used to tie the log hives on top of the trees, and also to help whoever is going to harvest or inspect the hive to climb the tree.
All right.
This is a smoker. I think Mr. Chris will help us explain this.
Hii inaitwa aje kona kikwenyu? Umeniambia ujui jina ya kizungu.
Okay, mimi nimetoka pale Tharaka Nithi. Na hizi tunaitanga hii mokia ndigo.
Mokia ndigo.
Ndigo ni ndizi.
Okay.
Yenye inachoma mandizi. So inatoanga moshi ambayo ni kali. Kanyuki ukipulizia tu hapo, kanyuki kanalewa. Kanakia from the other side. Na unajua wakati una harvest, unakuanga umeenda kuiba asali. Ile ni chakula ya nyuki. Wakati sasa unaenda na hii ambayo ile moshi inakuwa kali sana kwa nyuki. Ukipulizia tu hivi, nyuki kanasonga mbali, au unabaki na asali yako unaweka kwa ile honey
Thank
bag.
you so much for that. Because of time, we have to wrap up the program there. But thank you so much for teaching us so much about the traditional beehives. And thank you also for showing us a lot about planting trees. We'll see you again next week with a lot more. My name is Violetta Ngina. Goodbye.
Kenya's Gold.